So basically, I had I won't get really into the topic at work, but I recently came out as pansexual, which, a lot of people, don't really know what that means. And it's kind of joking. I used to always identify as bisexual. And basically, I came out at work, and it was because I was faced with a lot of bigotry at work. I mean, long story short, I won't give you the entire list, but one of the last comments said to me before I knew I was going to quit that place was, "You wouldn't last in my day. We used to drag fags behind our trucks." And something just like snapped in me. I mean, especially being a white male who, I was closeted most of my life. And so most people thought I was straight. And a straight white male will literally get talked to by every racist and bigot as if they are a brother to the cause of their hatred. So my entire life, people said homophobic things to me and racist things to me and thought that I'd be okay with it. And, I call it out. And in the back of our heads with these people, we're always like, oh, well, they're not a bad person. Maybe they were just raised wrong, or maybe they just, think a different way, or, some people try to chalk it up to a differing of opinions. But it is far past that point, and it is far past the point that we allow that. With Isolate the Hate, it's a movement I'm trying to start where both socially and business, on a business front, we isolate these people. No longer do we put up with any bigotry or hatred in any setting. It doesn't matter if it's work, school, in a personal setting. Why do we allow somebody who uses a racial slur in a joke to come eat dinner with us? Why do we allow that hate to just go unchecked? I mean, we talk about police brutality, we talk about injustices, we talk about all these things, disparities, and it all stems from unchecked bigotry on every level, both down to the lowest of all of us citizens just trying to get by, and our government. On a government level, for example, this was something I wanted to bring up. There should be a morals clause for any money the city or state gives to a business. And if that business is found to engage in any, sexual harassment against women, any bigotry against gays, another race, another religion, anything like that, their funding is pulled instantly. If we will not put morals before profit and everything else, then we are all just as culpable to everything that's going on. I find that every single one of us, myself included, is responsible for George Floyd and thousands of other names because we've let these people by. We chalk it up to, well, I just won't talk to that person. I'll still do business with them though. I'll still, fund them. There's businesses that are known to support anti-gay legislation. There's businesses that, have a history of supporting anti-Black legislature. I mean, it's just, why do we continue as a society to allow it? The only way we can ever change anything is if we stop being complicit, if we stop allowing it in any form. There is no room anymore for tolerance like that. When we're talking about youth, that's one thing. You're still learning. But when we're talking about these adults, I guarantee that police officer with a history of violence, his superiors, everybody knew he was a little rough, or he, I don't know if it's come out for sure that he was racist or anything yet, but if he was, we knew it. I guarantee one of his partners knew, somebody knew. Even if they didn't feel the same as him, they knew, and they said nothing. Whether he was aggressive, whatever the case was. At my job, when I came out and I told this all happened in front of a supervisor, the things that happened to me. And nobody knew I was gay at the time. Not that it should matter, but when I told my HR and everything, nothing happened. Not a single suspension, not a single write-up. And I see this daily. I had witnesses, I had everything. And it's not that they're not supposed to do it. That's why I have an open EEOC charge in my name against them. It's because nobody wants to do it. Nobody will take the stand. A business will not openly condemn racism for fear of loss of profits. Just look at our president. For one, almost positive he's a racist, but he will not even openly condemn the racists who support him. The leader of our country. How can we expect racism to be addressed if we will not address it ourselves on every single level in every day of our life, in every second of our lives? There is no room for error. There is no room for coddling these people. On every aspect, we have to take a stand for every other person that's going to go home and not have a father or a son to go home to because of an over-aggressive cop or a hate crime or any sort of crime that affects somebody. A woman being raped because his friends knew that he was, you know, I've seen so much, and we talk out about so much, but we just don't condemn it the way we should. And I mean that, you know, like I said, I can't stress it enough. Not just us, you know, we're talking about the police force joining the community and hanging out and having barbecues, and that's great. That's a step forward. That's a step in the right direction. But if they go home and they still don't have the respect for the people they're serving, and the people they're serving still don't have respect for them, then we haven't done anything. And the reason that respect is, you know, so shaky right now is there is so much intolerance. And I don't just mean, you know, on the things I've said, even just, you know, I believe it was Dakota who said it, the us versus them mentality. Right now it's us versus them with police, because we won't make the us versus them the people who it needs to be, the hateful people, the over aggressive people. I mean, our entire country has a fetish with guns and violence and solving your problems with anger. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have said we just need to bomb the Middle East. I had a supervisor at my last job say we needed to mow down the immigrants, women and children included, because them crossing the border is an act of war. These are the people we stand next to in grocery stores. These are the people that we work with, that we go to church with. And we know it. We know they harbor these beliefs, and we allow it. And then what happens when that belief goes to another person? It goes to their kids, because we allowed it. We did not condemn it to the degree it needs condemned. There is only one way to face hatred and evil, and that is head on. One of my favorite quotes, for example, from the movie Boondock Saints, I don't know where the quote comes from originally, but we all must fear evil men, but there's an evil we must fear most, and that is the indifference of good men. So all of us, when we do half measures, when we say, well, you know, I'm not going to condemn these people, they still have a chance to change. No, I'm sorry. A 50-year-old man, a 30-year-old man, a 25-year-old man, if he is still actively being a racist, he can figure that out on his own. We do not need to support him as a community. We do not need to support him, his business. We do not need to support him in any way. Our churches need to turn away from the people who are hating. Our businesses need to turn away from the people that are hating. The only way forward is with a social movement. Laws, everything else, it's only going to go so far. So that's what Isolate the Hate's about.